Chelsea 2, Arsenal 4. Yes, people, why football in? Arsenal with a massive 3 points at Stamford Bridge. I cannot quite believe it. As always, if you guys love match reactions, Arsenal content in particular, please consider subscribing on our 2700 and drop a like down below so this video gets out to more people, and leave your thoughts of the match in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear it. I mean, I'm going to start by saying, if you are a betting man and you bet on Arsenal, what are you doing in your life? You are throwing away money, because my days, after losing to Crystal Palace, Brighton and Southampton, Arsenal have gone on to beat third place Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. I mean, who could have predicted it? It was a scrappy game, and by no means was it pretty, but the job was done. I mean, I could tell Chelsea were there for the taking, just from the team sheet alone. No Rudiger to start, you know he's their starting centre-back. Kai Havertz was out the team. No Jorginho or Kovacic. I mean, if there was ever a time to play Chelsea for Arsenal, this was the time. Especially after the fact they just got to the final of the FA Cup. They'd still be living off that a little bit, maybe a little bit tired from that game against Palace. And also came out the blocks raring to go. Scored after 13 minutes through a mistake from Andreas Christensen. Nketiah pounced on it. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm an honest guy. I don't know why Nketiah started. I did not want him to start whatsoever. I called for Martinelli to go through the middle, but boy, was it a good decision in hindsight. Arteta had big balls to do that, because every Arsenal fan was on Twitter just violating Arteta for playing Nketiah. But look, he stuck to his guns, he played Nketiah and it worked. And I'm an open, honest Arsenal fan, man. If I got it wrong, I'll say I got it wrong. At the end of the day, I want Arsenal to succeed. And if that means that Nketiah plays up front, even though I didn't want him to, I'm happy, man. Look, Arsenal winning is priority for me over me being right. So yeah, he did score after 13 minutes, and it was a cool finish. Very cool finish. Took it across Malang Sarr, and then away from the goalkeeper, Mendy, into the bottom corner, and that was 1-0. But then we just gifted them a goal straight away 4 minutes later. Timo Werner, it was actually a hospital pass from Nketiah to Chelsea to give it away. And then Timo Werner strikes, deflects off Xhaka, I believe. Ramsdale should have done better in my opinion, man. Just could not get a hand to it, and it went into the bottom corner, and that was 1-1. We bounced back on the 27th minute. Emile Smith-Rowe scored after Xhaka just nutmegging, I don't know who it was, I think it was like Kante in the midfield, and then played it out to Odegaard, over to Bukayo Saka. Saka then taken on defender. He had Alonso all day, every day this game. Pulls it across. Odegaard one more, and then Smith-Rowe just guides it into the bottom corner. P-rolled it, but it was accurate that it went in, and that was 2 on Arsenal. But then we gave it away again, 2-2. Cesar Azpilicueta scored off a cross from Mason Mount, and he just tucked it in past Ramsdale. And going into half-time, look, at the start of the game, would I have taken a draw as an Arsenal fan? 100% I would have. On the reflection of the first half, Arsenal deserved to be ahead. We had the better chances. Chelsea basically scored the 2 chances they had. Arsenal were being a bit more aggressive, a bit more on the front foot. Chelsea were there for the taking. They were there for the taking. I feel like if Arsenal did not win this match, they would have rued themselves. Because at the end of the day, you would have taken a draw at the start. Of course, I'm not denying that. But the way the game panned out, Arsenal had to win this football match. They had to. It was on a platter for them. I mean, going out in the second half, I was like, look, 2-2 first half. Chances for Arsenal, probably should have been ahead. Now we have to take this game away from Chelsea, assert some dominance. And we did. Scored a scrappy goal from Nketiah, very scrappy. Under 9's defending. I mean, just pinballed, and Nketiah got a touch on it. P-rolled it past Mendy to make it 3 to Arsenal. At that point, I'm pretty sure every Arsenal fan on planet Earth was like, right, the last 2 times we scored, we conceded within 5 minutes. Defend for 5-10 minutes at least. And we did. And then once that happened, you felt like the game kind of got away from Chelsea a little bit. We actually had the better chances on the counter-attack. We should have scored a few chances, but then we eventually did get a penalty. Cesar Azpilicueta decided it was WWE as he literally wrestled Bukayo Saka to the ground. Saka stepped up. Big ballsy penalty from Saka there, because if I'm not mistaken, that's his first penalty since the one he missed for England in the Euro 2020 final. Dispatched it perfectly. Same sides he did in Euro 2020. Didn't even look at the goal once, just eye on the ball and just absolutely thumped it back into the back of the net. And that was 4-2, game over, 3 points to the Arsenal. I'm going to touch on a few things. First, the fact that Nuno Tavares, this footballer, he's the funniest footballer on planet Earth. Nuno Tavares, I think his pre-match routine is he just bops a Red Bull energy drink, plays some like heavy metal music, and then just goes to play football. This man is pure vibes. He's got no technical ability whatsoever. Like, he just runs like a headless chicken. Honestly, Nuno Tavares today, man. On another day, we would have lost this game because of him. Because he's pure vibes. No technical ability whatsoever. He just literally just runs for the sake of it. He shoots funny. Like, everything he does is funny. Like, I think every time he shoots the ball, it goes miles over the bar. I mean, we could have cost this game because of him, but at the end of the day, look, he got the job done. And I think Nuno Tavares would do better if Tomiyasu was on the other side. I think if Cedric and Tavares are there, like, it's just pure vibes because both of them have no defensive prowess whatsoever, and they both like to get forward. And then we just get left exposed because we've got Ben White and Gabriel at the back. But I think if Tomiyasu's there, then Tavares can play because Tomiyasu can fill in like a back three. This works better for Tavares in his formation because we can't have two overlapping fullbacks. We're not Liverpool. We can't do Trent and Robertson. We have to have one defensive one and one attacking one. And Tavares is definitely going to be an attacking one because the geezer can't defend. Emile Smith-Rowe I'm going to touch upon because although he did score today, he was very, very quiet. Like, I forgot he was playing apart from the fact that he scored. At the end of the day, that's what's important. No, he did score. He goes our joint top scorer with Bukayo Saka. And look, at the end of the day, I still would have preferred Martinelli to play, but Smith-Rowe scored at the end of the day. I mean, out of the four, Smith-Rowe, Saka, Ødegaard, and Martinelli, Smith-Rowe's like the one that I would drop out of those four. I'm being completely honest. I think Saka's untouchable, Ødegaard's untouchable, and Martinelli has to start ahead of Smith-Rowe in my opinion. But he popped up with the goal today, so fair play to him. Eddie Nketiah though, man, because I grilled him before the game. I grilled him during the game as well. He scored 2 massive goals today. And look, I'm happy for the kid, man. He's not going to be at Arsenal next season. I'm pretty 90% sure he won't be at Arsenal next season. But if he performs like this, there's no doubt that he will score goals for a good side, for a mid-table side. I don't think he's an Arsenal striker. I don't think he'll ever reach the stature to be an Arsenal striker, to be honest. But if he scores in games like this, it'll raise his stock. And at the end of the day, he's going for free at the end of the season, I do believe. If a team in mid-table like a Newcastle snaps him up, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a few goals for them if he starts regularly. I just don't believe we can take a gamble on Eddie Nketiah starting regularly for us. That's just my opinion. I don't think he's that player that can start regularly. I think he would start regularly for a lower side with less pressure. But at the end of the day, look, he got the job done today. Thank you, because without your goals, we don't win this football match. So big up Eddie Nketiah for that. I'm going to get into the player ratings now. Ingo and Ramsdale, I'm going to give him a 4. Look, and I know it's harsh when we won, but he did have a stinker on that first goal, I believe. Also, just refused to catch anything. Everything was punching away. Yeah, Ramsdale 4 for me. Right back, Ben White. I mean, for the first goal, he could have done better. I'm going to give him a 5. But overall, I feel like our defence grew as the game progressed. Rob Holding had an absolute stinker. I'll give him a 4 out of 10. I mean, the defence was horrible today. Rob Holding, I mean, could not assert himself whatsoever in the game. Let players run off him every time. Not good from him. Gabriel next to him, I'll give him a 5. Better than Rob Holding. Still not amazing though. I mean, since he's cut his hair, he hasn't been great. But look, we won today, so I'm not going to be too negative. But the defence was suspect. It was scrappy in the first half. No team could defend. And that includes Arsenal, because we just could not defend whatsoever. 5 for Gabriel. Nuno Tavares, I'll give him a 5 as well, but pure vibes from him, man. Like, honestly, Nuno Tavares' match rating can range from about a 1 to an 8 on any given game, because he just goes crazy. Like, he can pick up the ball and do something wonderful, like run through the whole team. And then he can also just give hospital passes away, run backwards. Like, the guy is suspect. But we got the job done today. Let's move on to the midfield. Xhaka had a quality game in there for me. I'm going to give Xhaka an 8 out of 10. I mean, he set up the second goal for us with that nice nutmeg, and he was just commanding the whole game, a calming figure. He was about the only geezer on the pitch that just didn't give the ball away consistently. Everyone else, I felt, gave the ball away. So yeah, great game from Xhaka. Ramadan El Neni back into the side, the forgotten man. Look, he had played a couple of hospital passes in the first half, but he grew into the game in the second half. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. El Neni did his job, held the team together much better than Lokonga in there. Let's move on to the attackers. This is where the game was won for Arsenal Football Club. Bukayo Saka right wing, 9 out of 10. Quality from him. Scored a penalty as well. Had Alonso on ropes the whole game. Making stuff happen. Great game from Bukayo Saka. Ødegaard midfield, I give him an 8 as well. Great from him. Supplying the passes, getting on the ball a lot. I liked it. Emile Smith-Rowe, I'm going to give an 8 to, purely because he scored. Other than that, he probably would have got a 6 or 7 because he didn't really do much. Was very quiet, in fact. And Eddie Nketiah, I'll give a 9 to as well. Just for his performance. It was a gutsy, ballsy performance. Especially the fact that he hasn't played a lot recently. He's come under the cosh from Arsenal fans before the lineup. Before the game started, when the lineup was announced. And he came out with a bang and had a beautiful game. But yeah, this just makes the top 4 race even hotter. As we go down to a couple more crunch games, Arsenal versus Man United this Saturday. Of course, I'm going to be reviewing that. So stay tuned for that game. In terms of Chelsea, look, they've got to play Man United as well. It's going to be a tough end to this season. Now, the fact that if Arsenal just won 2 of those 3 games, we would actually be ahead of Chelsea, I believe. Or if not, like very close to them. It's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Arsenal level on points with Spurs now. That game against Tottenham is going to be absolutely massive in a few weeks' time. I cannot wait for it. Massive North London derby. But it's the first time in a long time where North London derby actually has proper repercussions, because the past few seasons it's been a North London derby purely for pride with no actual season on the line. This might be the first North London derby where there's actually the season on the line for these two clubs. But yeah, as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you enjoy football reactions in general, please consider subscribing on road to 700 and drop a like down below so this video gets out to more people. I've been White Football and I'll catch you guys in the next video.